stop. Don't throw me under the bus now. All right, welcome to UAT Game Studios for our Fall 2019 Greenlight Celebration event. Matthew Marquardt.
Awesome. So as Lynn said, welcome students, of course, staff, and so on for the University of Advancing Technology. But of course, also welcome any guests that are either here live or, of course, watching the stream. We do appreciate you guys watching and seeing the awesome things that we do here at Greenlight at the university. Now, Greenlight, this is actually one of the biggest things that separates us from a lot of the other universities outside of the Student Innovation Project, as we call them SIPs. The Greenlight process in production studios is one of the biggest things that we do here, where we give students the opportunity to work together to actually create real projects, as if they were really on the job. Because let's be fair, that's one of the best ways to learn, of course, creating and doing game development. So we have this opportunity where students can come and pitch their ideas, get them accepted, and actually create them over the process of a term, which is one of the amazing things that we have the ability to. In fact, students can even finish games and actually ship them, which in the video game industry is a huge thing, to have shipped games before you even graduated college. So that's what we do here with our Greenlight. I'd like to appreciate all of the staff too that help us out with this, especially the game staff that are here, and obviously in particular Derek Clark and Lynn Understiller, who are the teachers of the production studio classes. Now, they don't want me to talk too much, and I tend to ramble a lot, so I'm going to try to obviously keep this short. But what we're going to do today is we're going to go over a bunch of different pitches. Some of them are celebrations of what was created this term, and some of them are going to be pitches to come back next semester through the Greenlight process. We have about 13 teams around that range that are going to pitch. Some of them are going to be in the live stream, some of them are not because of NDAs and so on and so forth, but we're going to get to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off really quick with our first team, Project Techno. We're going to give 7 minutes per project maximum. So if you can be less than that, that's even better. We can get through it quicker. But you're going to do your best to stay within that. You're going to be timed. When you got 1 minute left, we're going to let you know. So like, oh, what did you say? 1 minute. All right, that's what we're going to say. I believe George is going to be keeping track of the time, right? So he'll let you guys know. Make sure you stay within that range. And let's do it, people. So let's give everyone a hand and let's start.
Awesome. Well, hello everyone. On behalf of all game studios and those that are watching with us today, happy holidays.
Thank you.
Of course. Now that we've got that started, we come to you as a team to present Project Techno. What is Project Techno? Is a rhythm racing game that focuses primarily on the tandem cooperation between DJ and racer by using the main mechanic of echolocation to navigate the level. But without further ado, through the process and deliberation of all our works, here is our trailer. And without further ado, let's meet the people that worked on this
Hi,
together.
my name is Jake Pig. I'm a programmer on Project Techno. Throughout the course of this semester, I was tasked with adding networked multiplayer functionality to the project. By design, the project was already co-op, having a driver and a DJ work together to complete a race. So using Photon, which is a networking plugin for Unity, I was able to expand on that functionality and allow players to connect remotely. A current Photon server instance we have set up allows for 8 players to connect to a server, which is 4 teams, and then they can all race against each other. A designer can easily add network functionality to any scene through a prefab I created, allowing them to just drag and drop that in and then fill out a few values to get connected. I also worked a lot on documentation, creating a wiki on GitLab for the project, where I documented the functionality of all the scripts that we have in the project, just going through and detailing out the methods and variables and their uses, allowing a new team member or someone who just needs a refresher to get up to speed quickly.
Major thanks.
My name's Hakeem Adi. I am one of the programs in Project Techno, but entirely this semester. I pretty much worked on the UI and UX for Project Techno alongside with the car and some of the map scenes that you see right now.
And speaking of map scenes, let's talk about the powers that we have.
My name's Keith. I'm a programmer for Project Techno. My main contribution has been in the power-ups and merging together the two car controllers they had to give it a much smoother function.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie Johnson. I'm the 2D UI artist for Project Techno. I worked on the splash screens, the loading screens, the character art, and most of the UI. I wanted to bring a bit more flavor to the aspect into the game, and I think I did that successfully. I hope you enjoyed the art. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, a designer for Project Techno. With guidance from our artists and programmers, I designed and animated the character and vehicle select screen. I also took our old instruction screen and gave it a facelift, both for easier comprehension and to make it flow better with the theme of our game. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Tyler Henson, one of the designers. I had the task of finishing the second map scene to get it working with game mechanics and developing the new desert scene.
Sadly, we won't be participating for next semester, but we do hope that you keep up with us as we're trying to push our game into Indicate and polish and perfect our game entirely. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and we thank you for staying along with us throughout this entire semester. Thank you.
Up next, we have Siphoners.
Sign me out. Sorry for the delay, everybody. Just got signed out.
Coordinating 14 people to put stuff on a computer is a lot harder than it sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. 7 minutes are up till we.
Oh. Damn. That sucks. Come on. Okay. Alright. I actually forgot how to do it.
Drag it.
Move it over, it's a dual screen.
Dang it. What the?
You gotta grab the.
You gonna help me out for a second here?
Grab this. Drag it over there.
There you go.
Ah, well, that was pretty easy.
Are you gonna need help getting it to present too?
All
All the way on the right.
Keep going, keep going.
That works too.
Okay, alright. Okay. Thank you for your patience, everybody. I'm going to present to you Siphoners, which is a survival horror game
set way back in Victorian era. This is a post-apocalyptic survival horror game. Okay, so this is what it looked like last semester. We had a very pill-headed character, to say the least, and some UI to represent the health and energy system. So the energy system is what the game revolves around. You use sunlight to go around and interact with your weapons, like the lantern, sword, and stuff, and to also illuminate your way while you're navigating through dark areas. But now we moved on to a character that better represents, the theme of our game and the post-apocalyptic theme. So instead of now we have a plague doctor that goes around wearing the mask, making sure that the smoke, aka the fog in the game, does not affect you. Oh my god. This is the new city level that was there before, but now it's more updated to show the new hallways and all the different nooks and crannies where enemies can pop out to surprise you. And this is the forest level that's also connected to the previous one that I just showed you. This is all a part of level 1, and this leads to a mansion at the end, the top of this hill right over here, which will be the next level. These are the various weapons that the player can use to go around and either A, kill enemies, or illuminate the path so that they don't get lost or you have to jump on them. We managed to implement the hand lantern, spear, axe, and the straight sword, although the latter of the three were only put in as models at the moment. And now I'm going to hand it off to my team to tell you what they did.
Alright, hello everyone. My name is William. I was the Scrum Master for our game this semester. And I think I worked really hard with all the people in our group to make sure that we had everybody on the same page. We made good improvement from the previous semester, and we actually strided forward. I was also the game design master of the group, and me and the other designer worked really hard on making sure that his level had the proper terrain. It looks really good, and I'm really happy with what we got.
Hello, my name is Harrison. I was a game designer for Cyphers. Over the past 15 weeks, I was tasked with creating level 1.2, the terrain, the trees, the enemies, the growing mushrooms you'll find throughout, and the shack that's inside the cleft over there. I was happy and fortunate to be able to work on this, and I feel I put my best foot forward in designing the best level I could within the 15 weeks. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jacob Briggs, a programmer here on Cyphers. This last semester, I was working on getting combat implemented, so making sure that the player could attack the enemies and kill them, making sure that the enemies could come and kill the player. And I also worked with Ben, another programmer, to fix up some issues and wonkiness with the AIs. They were acting a little bit weird at the beginning of the semester, not so much now. And I also worked on the basics of one of our new enemies, the Wall Creeper, making sure he can phase through walls while the other enemies couldn't. And it was super fun working on this. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ben Kushevin, I'm the programmer for Cypher. I worked on this semester really getting our enemies to feel as though they're alive and not just static background characters. Worked with Jacob to help flesh out and fix the combat system for them. And I've also worked on getting our environmental display up to shop with fog and other buffs and volume.
Okay, thank you, team. Thank you, everybody, for going through and listening. We will not be running for the next semester studio, but we will still be running the project for development outside of studio. Thank you.
Next we have Guardians Legacy.
Good morning, everyone. Guardians Legacy is a linear-based RPG that focuses on giving you unique aspects to customizing how your character plays and incentivizing player growth through new and different methods. What we've planned and wanted to do this semester for our final run through studio was get our project to a consistent place where we can release as a pre-alpha. We've successfully done this at this point and are ready to release, so we hope you come over and play test at the end of this session. We wanted to really focus on making sure all of our mechanics worked. We had all of the content we wanted to show off, and mainly wanted to show off the note system and the combat for the game, which allows you to create your own skills to use in combat and in the overworld. Now I'd like to give it over to my team to talk about what they've contributed.
Designer. I've been working mainly on the forest area, trying to finish that up, adding in bounding boxes, enemy spawns and pathways, and just cleaning it up, getting it all polished.
Hello, my name is Harley Prince, and as some of you know, we've had a wide range of monsters this semester, but we've had an even wider range now. We have 3 that are fully in the game, and more will be coming soon. So.
Hello, my name is William Hansel. I am a programmer here on Guardians Legacy. This semester I worked on our node system, refactoring and getting that cleaned up all the way to its final production state. And I worked on implementing our loading screens and our options menus.
Thank you, everyone. We wanted to really give a thanks to Studio for letting us come through, and as we leave, I wanted to congratulate all the other teams as they go through Studio as well. You guys have made this a really pleasurable experience, and we're glad for the opportunity to have participated. Thank you very much.
Up next is Starwave.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison Butner and I'm the team lead of Starwave. We would all like to value your presence here and we are very grateful for this opportunity. We will start off by showing you our trailer that we've been working so very hard and diligently on, and we are very excited to show that off.
Thank you so much, everyone, for watching that. And so I would like to hand this off to Brian Block. And
hello, everybody. I'm Brian Block. I'm the creator of Starwave. I did everything in this Space Lab level, excluding some of the hospital beds, some of the other materials. I worked especially hard on doing the textures on the walls, even the lights, all the special effects. I did the fire. I worked heavily on texturing the holograms and the chairs and everything in Substance Painter. I worked especially hard on making sure everything looked good, looked like there was a fire in a Soviet space station. I worked really hard on the tanks, the robotic arms, everything in the level. I'd like to pass it off to our Scrum Master and designer, Katie.
Hello, as Brian said, I am Scrum Master Katie Morse and designer. For the first part of our development cycle, I worked on Time City, in which Tucker was able to implement my 3 types of buildings. This is my first one, my second one, and my third one. And then on my next development process, I started working on Mushroom Level. This is how it looked a few weeks ago, and this is how it looks now. With the fully implemented huts, there's bouncing mushrooms where the player can actually bounce around and go through the level. Thank you everyone for listening.
Hello, my name is Norman Wayne. I'm the lead programmer for Starwave. There's usually like 2 programmers, but there's only 1, so I'm taking the lead programmer. So I've been working on Wheel after I stopped working on projects, so I've been working on diversity for the playable character. So one of it is hook points, as demonstrated. And the next one would be zip lining. And the third one would be wall jumping. And last but not least, just a little minor touch up, I would say the interactive chess, just getting used to with the Unreal interface I'll look for. So overall, I mean, being the lead programmer, being the only programmer running this team, I'm proud for my team, I'm proud for everyone involved, I'm proud of helping with Chris Coons, helping out throughout the project, so I want to thank everyone.
Hello, my name is Tucker Basket, and I am an artist on Starwave. I helped merge in Time City, worked on a hut, did a modular ladder and a particle system. I also worked on some of the enemies that Moses had concepted. I also did a zipline pole and a tree. I would like to hand it off to Addison, our team lead.
as well as with being the team lead, I also help the modelers make 3D models, and I made a lot of 3D models for the spaceship. So I did a lot of sci-fi models as well as doors, and that's my 3D rendering of what the spaceship will look like. And I did the chest for the particle systems when the player collects an interactive consumable as well. And I also made some buildings as well, some ancient objects for the Chiku village setting. And I would definitely like to talk about Moises Cardona's work. He was our subcontractor, and he did a lot of the concept art for our project. He helped a bunch because he made beautiful concept illustrations like this that really helped our 3D modelers make the models that we wanted originally for the game. Additionally to that, he also helped make very exceptional UI art for the game as well, signifying to the player when they have unlocked a new chest, unlocked any new unlockables and options, and there's just so much more. And I would also like to talk about Roman Dixon's work. He was a key designer on our team as well, and he helped setting up the terrain, he helped setting up the environment, the pathways to those environments, and we all really appreciate his work as well. And I would also like to talk about Christopher Olsen's work, who was our online AI programmer. He helped a lot immensely in our AI capabilities as well. Yeah, he created some really exceptional patrolling systems as well as pursuing opportunities for the AI. And then here is our social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And thank you all so much for watching our presentation. And please feel free to come by in the comments to play test our game. Thank you all so much.
Next, we got the madness of our hearts.
Alright, thank you everyone. Gonna level with you. Did not know it would autoplay. I was going to give a slight introduction first. Well, this is our project. So I gotta play off of. There we go. Where's the project button? F5. Thank you. So this is Madness in Our Hearts. What exactly is it? It's a first-person survival game. It's a game where you get to see your own sanity, but this isn't the pitch. This is our presentation. So we need to show off what makes it fun and what we got done. So we managed to introduce stealth as well as a little bit of problem solving, and then a new mechanic that came up in development, parkour. Originally that was supposed to have no prevalence on the game. Put it in. People had a lot of fun. So thank you everyone who convinced me to add it. Insanity as a play style, which is something that we are going to have a heavy focus on, especially after a sprint. As well as you'll be able to actually befriend the monsters. What we started with before this was just simply some simple concept art. We had started working on some documentation and well, there were only two of us and we had never touched Unreal before, so the fact we actually got anything playable at all, pretty darn impressive. What we did manage to create, though, was we got all of our core systems we wanted to get done. We managed to all work in Engine throughout the course of the project, giving us valuable experience in Engine. As well as, I'm fairly certain almost everyone here, if not everyone, has something they would gladly put in their portfolio, or even potentially a SIP. So enough about, let's talk about what happened. Let's hear it from them. Starting with Desiree, what'd you work on?
Hi, my name's Desiree. I'm an artist on the team. I primarily work on creating environmental assets for the game, which involve creating modular walls, trying to make everything modular so that it's functional but also versatile. And I also, continuing on with the environmental assets, I started creating textures for them, and overall I would say that throughout the whole semester I was just the environment artist.
Hey, I'm V. Griffin. I'm the lead designer on Project Madness. What I worked on over the course of the semester was a lot of different design works. I worked on, primarily in the beginning, figuring out what insanity exactly would, how that would exactly affect gameplay. And then from there, I moved on to adding values to different things that the programmers have implemented, such as camera shake, walking speed, and then I assisted the programmers in things like the player being able to take damage and adding an overlay as you took damage. And so kind of adding as a backup programmer as well as actually implementing values to the different programs.
Jack Thompson. I built most of the foundational systems for the game. I worked on the inventory and the interaction system for a lot of the game. I also made some of the world objects and the item object system. So I made it so that they can interact.
And I would also like to thank some of the members who couldn't be here today. Our main level designer, Jake Rigsby. Unfortunately, he's got work in the mornings because, unlike some of us, he's got a job already, so could not be here today. And then Jackson Zilligar could not be here as well due to medical issues, but he helped tremendously whenever I'd be banging my head against the wall, thinking about what to do next, or just ready to help with anything, whether it be audio, hey, let's work on these materials, let's do whatever. So special thanks to them, as well as everyone out of studio who are offering support, offering feedback, just wanting to sit down and play the game. You guys are great. Anyway, that is Madness in Our Hearts. We will not be repitching for next semester. Thank you all for watching.
Next up, Boss Simulator.
There it is. Okay. I was like, where's the mouse? I don't know, probably. Let's get it ready. Alright, yep. Should we try? Oh no, it's crashing. And then there's gonna be like 10 of them open. It's okay, it wouldn't let me extract it when I put it on here, so. Yeah.
It looked at the Maya symbol for a moment. I was like, that's why nothing's running well.
True. So, maybe.
In good news, the cameras haven't broken yet.
Yay!
Don't say anything.
What does it say?
I'm not sure you can play it out of the zip file.
Is it in the zip file? I thought that one was extracted.
Well, I don't know if it is or not. You were saying you couldn't extract it.
Oh, no, yeah. Oh, yes. Earlier.
I think it's in a zip file because it says build 3.5 and then it says build 3.5.
Alright.
It's 5.5.
Oh, no, there it is.
There we go.
What's happening? Alright. Click. Alright. That's good. Turn down. Alright. So hey guys, I'm Jacqueline. Thank you for bearing with me through that. It always sucks when stuff seems like it's not going to go right, but luckily it did. I am very, very excited to show off Boss Simulator to you guys this, I always want to say semester, but I mean sprint. Because we got a lot done, and we've come a really long way from where we started with some balls floating around to actual management style gameplay. While I walk around and show you cool stuff, I'm going to let stuff that my team got done. So I programmed the UI for James's awesome UI art. So now management system is functional. So you can hire people. You can look at their stats. So their need stats on here. I did that. So as the game progresses, you'll get these like little dots that represents how low or high their needs are. I also got all of these pages so that the buttons are functional, and eventually it'll take you to these types of pages that give you the information further information about your characters. Let's take a moment to point out Mark right there. And then I also I got this page all set up and functional as well. Let's exit. So we can exit using our power button. We got it so you can assign them to desks instead of you just walking up and clicking to hire. Now you have to do it through management, and then you can assign them to desks. So, and I created the backgrounds for both the for this here, this cactus, and the cactus on the desktop. And last but not least, and the most hardest, this semester I worked on the dialogue system, so you can talk to your employees and begin to see them as not just some people that you're managing, but actual people with thoughts and feelings and goals. All right, so that's our game, but let's get to the exciting fun part, pitching for next semester. So I actually put my pitch in my build because I thought that would be a lot of fun. So this is Boss Simulator. You've seen it, we've come a long way, and I want to go further, and with your help, we can do this. So our main goals next semester are to finish our character models. We did get several of them done, not just Lauren and Steve, but we ended up having to go back and redo them because they weren't in the correct style. So James and Caitlin went back and redid the turnarounds so that when we model them, they come out closer to what we want. So we need to finish those up. We also want to add a grid-based item placement into our world. So instead of the green ghost desks and computers, we want to be able to place things on a grid base. So kind of like Sims, I guess, in that aspect. We also want to do our emotional AI. This is for sure William's expertise, so he'll be the main person that will be working on that next semester, but he is going to be looking for support on that. Very, very exciting. So our AI will actually be able to feel and express emotions and interact with other characters who have emotions as well. We need animations, so many animations, so that's going to be what we're focusing on, as well as content, because without content, our characters aren't people, so we want to really develop them. So Spurt 1 is going to be a lot of, so we're going to orient, then we're going to begin focusing on our item-based placement, then finish that up and run into our emotional AI system, and then continue working on that until finally we will clean up our build and polish, and then publish. We're going to be publishing at the end of next semester. So I'm going to be looking for 2 to 3 designers, 3 or 4 artists, and 1 or 2 programmers, as well as someone who wants to take on the role of community manager, because we do need to get some community outreach and start marketing our game so we can properly achieve funding. So the benefit for having us in studio is that we are a local indie company just starting out, so you get to help us help you. Also, we have almost all of our leadership positions are available, so there'll be a lot of mentorship opportunities for students looking to get into lead roles. And we're going to be shipping at the end of the spring 2020, so greenlight us. All right, thank you so much.
Next we got Escape Room AR.
Start with the trailer.
Hey.
Let's see. Where is the...
We have like 10 builds.
Yeah.
Duck into the corner and try to grab the volume here.
Yeah, don't.
Don't, I got it.
Alright, thank you.
Just quit escape room. Escape room. Escape the boss room.
Escape the boss room. Okay, so Darren and I are going to team up to escape the boss room.
So, hello, I'm Darren Palermo. I am project lead on Escape Room AR. So, when we came into studio this semester, all we had was just some cards you could put in torches and a padlock on a chest. When we got our full team, we were able to go through and implement a lot of our full gameplay puzzle loops, as well as getting a lot of final art that was cohesive and fit on one nice style. So now we have a lot of mechanics revolving around being able to shoot beams and change color of things, being able to see objects, a whole in-depth clock that you can go inside and mess with the pieces, and a final game loop where you get all the gems in the game and you could actually clear the room and you get a victory screen. So I'll hand it off to my team and allow them to speak more individually on the contributions they made.
Hi everyone, I'm Ross Hall. I'm a programmer on Escape Room AR. I mainly worked on the image beam, the little booth spec that allows you to change the colors of the torches. I pretty much wrote my own event system for that using reflection. I also worked on the oracle lens, which allows you to see text through textures. Darren worked a little bit on that after I got the initial code set up. In addition to that, I also worked on Slingshot, getting you to actually pull it back when the ball launches and resets and all that. It's really fancy. Our artists did a great job. And then the gargoyle system, the pole collisions and activating the eyes and everything, that was also me. And then the pendulum was a bit difficult. So we originally just used gravity for it, because like you think gravity would make it swing naturally. But with Euphoria and the way it works, if you move your camera, gravity is based on the movement of your camera. So if you look down at the pendulum, it would, go sideways. So I basically had to write a function to recreate gravity for that as well. In addition to that, I also did the chest. So if you click the lock on the chest, it'll bring it into your UI and spawn a ghost object that other players can see. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Connolly. I am the design lead for Escape Room AR. What I worked on over these past 15 weeks was designing the puzzles for our escape room, selecting the audios that we were going to use, along with working with our art and design team on how the art assets and our image will look like. I also did some pre-production on the hint system and also for narrative design. And finally, what I'm most proud on is I managed to port our game to iOS and maintain it on iOS throughout this whole semester. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Raul Montes, and I'm a designer on Escape Room AR. And throughout this semester, I've helped with editing and implementing audio for the game objects on the target images. I also helped with the puzzle documentation, and with using Photoshop and Illustrator, I created new symbols for target images and the new borders for the target images. I also help manage the Vuforia database where the target images are being held. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Lindsay Box. I'm lead artist and scrum master at Escape from AR. This semester I had the privilege of working with an amazing team to develop what you see in front of you. My major contributions this semester came in from the art perspective for the orbital lens, the slingshot, and the main beam, as well as a number of other assets, early target imaging, the desk, the chest, things of that nature. And we have had a amazing semester, and we look forward to another semester. Good luck.
Hello everyone, I'm Ruth Lewis. I've had the great opportunity to be an artist on Escape Room AR, doing things such as the modeling, texturing, and unwrapping of the gargoyle, the grandfather clock, the great piece of cheese making, beautiful. And also I got to work with figuring out shaders in Unity to make the textures look just that much better. It would be great.
Alright, so lastly we have one more teammate that we can show his contribution through video.
Hello, my name is Josue Espinosa. I'm a programmer in Escape Room AR. I want to thank my leads for letting me in on this wonderful project. I want to thank Lindsay, Darren, and Kalana. They're great leads, and they helped me out realize a lot of stuff and learn more about AR games, and more stuff about Unity, which is pretty awesome. That I learned like more stuff in it. So things that I worked on Escape Room AR this semester was a particle changer, in which whenever the mage clicks on the scones, it changes the particle effects of the scones, which was pretty cool. Then after that, I worked on a little NPC, which is which whenever you click on it, it'll have its little dialogue and everything. It was pretty fun to make a little dialogue box and everything about it, so that whenever the player can interact with something, and then that little NPC tells the player what will it be next for the puzzle. Then the next thing that I worked on was on the clock's hand rotation, which it was a very interesting one, such as that I learned more about Unity's rotation and how you will use it in 3D objects, so that the clock hands could work as the clock hands. And I did learn more about gravity and functions over Unity, which is cool. Then after that, I worked with my other teammate, programmer Ross, making a gargoyle order puzzle. So this puzzle was whenever there was 3 gargoyles in the puzzle, you have to pick them in an order to be able to continue to the next part of the puzzle, which was pretty a much interesting thing to like do. And I learned more about like how to make stuff like in an order, and it was pretty interesting. Then after that, I just worked on little UI elements such as quitting game and things like that. Well, I want to thank again my programming leads for letting me in this project, in this wonderful project. I hope they're doing good, and hope you guys have a good Greenlight production day. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right, so now that you've had a thorough preview into our project, we will be pitching for next semester. So as you may have surmised, we are Escape Room AR. We are a multiplayer AR augmented reality escape room. We are developing for mobile for the iOS and Android platforms, and we are developing in the Unity engine. This semester, we're going to be looking for 1 to 2 designers, people who are interested with puzzle design, sound design, class balancing, narrative design. We also need people who are familiar with Xcode, which is going to help with our Apple builds, and people who are willing to work with our target images for AR. For artists, we're looking for 1 to 2 people, people who like to model with props, character rigging and animation. We need some UI developed, so there's vector art, that will be required, and then we'll be working with our designers to develop further target images. And we have positions for technical art as well, particle effects and things of that nature. We need 3 to 5 programmers this semester. We need people who are familiar with C# and Unity, people who are interested with mobile development, Photon for our multiplayer, and also Vuforia for our AR development. We have a position for a lead programmer. If you're interested in leadership and getting that on your resume, please come talk to us because we would love to speak with you. For our development plan, the first milestone will be getting the project off the ground, getting you acclimated to our technology with AR and the things that we've been doing. By milestone 2, we're going to be focusing heavily on getting general puzzles implemented. By milestone 3, we're going to be looking at systems design, as well as leading into milestone 4, so we can really hone in on our first-time player user experience, so that our game is intuitive and fun and easy to play and pick up. And then by milestone 5, we're going to be wrapping up the semester and preparing for another pitch for production studios. Thank you.
That concludes our streaming portion. We're still going? We're doing junior? Okay. So, junior achievement. Yeah.
All right, how many of these do we have? Where's the mouse?
Yeah, there's a quit. Yeah.
I do this manually because the stream is very delayed now.
Well, while we're getting everything set up, I'm Justine Grohl. I am the project's lead and manager of Junior Achievement. This is their long-lasting project that its goal is to teach financial literacy to basically everyone. It is not just for kids. Everyone who's worked onto this project has learned something about financial literacy. It's been a very much great project for everyone who's been on it. And we've made great strides, and we'll be able to show you momentarily.
Yeah, just having a little technical difficulty over here.
Welcome to technology. We have difficulties.
Yeah? Yeah. It's right here, but it's not popping up.
Go ahead and close that and reopen it.
Okay.
Well, while we're saying this, we are greenlighting. We would love more programmers and designers for the next upcoming semesters. This is a nearly completed project. We have one more scene left, and we'd love to get this completed. We are having our soft launch this semester, and we will be pushing for completion this upcoming semester.
Prepare your ears, everyone. Trying to get to it, just trying to get my insurance out. I didn't break China. China is breaking me right now. Yeah.
We do have China. It's a very beautiful location.
It's pretty.
Promise. But this is our project. There's a ton of people in this room who have dedicated hours and hours of time to this. And if you love educating people or want to even be educated yourself,
We have to pay for China. We have to pay for China. And that's why. What I have to say about this game, we've been working really hard on this project, and yes, we are preparing for our soft launch. What we really need to further push this to be a full launch is we need more mini games. We already have 2 mini games in each area for documentation purposes. All we need is more programmers and artists to help us flesh out our other mini games, and also the functionality and help us out with our core game loop. So the players should know like mission-based quests and working their job system and stuff like that. Yeah, strength.
I know I'm closing stuff so that we.
Oh, God bless.
The computer is starting to
chug.
Yeah.
Nice.
It'll let me close stuff. There we go. All right, you're good to go. You can watch as more people open their PowerPoints and leave them open. The delay gets longer and longer in the stream.
Need to download more RAM.
That's a good one. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Orzescu, and I'm one of the project leads on Mascot Heroes. So I'm just going to jump in and really start telling you about what Mascot Heroes is. So Mascot Heroes is a two-dimensional platformer in Unity. It's also a mobile game, and the basis is you play as all 5 mascots of the military branches. So the Air Force, Marines, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, they all have significant mascots. You can see artistic renditions of them on the bottom of the screen, and all 5 characters are playable in our little mobile game. So where did Mascot Heroes start? It is a client-based project. The original progenitor for the project is actually this coloring book, pseudo storybook written by Diane Wall-Wilson. She is actually the copyright holder of all the various mascots for the military branches. And it's really a story of 5 friends who served, and they're really together. What am I trying to say? They're serving our nation, and I don't want to spoil the book, but they're fighting against dastardly and downright doomed disaster. So I'll let you guys deal with the political interpretation of that, but yeah, no spoilers. So everything of our project is based on this story and working directly with the client, which has been a pretty fun project so far. So what are we looking for next semester? We're really looking design heavy. If you're a designer that's familiar with Unity, you like superhero-based stuff, and you like puzzles, we're looking for you. We also need a little bit more artists on our team. Really anything that deals with 2D art, we're looking for. And lastly, we are looking for 1 additional programmer. It's all Unity-based. It's a Unity mobile game. If you have mobile experience, that's nice, and that's really cool, but it's not required. So. The other thing that I will add is this is a project that has internship opportunities. And the last thing is, if you're a designer, be mindful that this game does deal with political things in nature. And with the 2020 election coming up, be mindful. There will be some politics talk. But with that, I hope to see some of you next semester. And thank you.
Next project, SCMNM. I can say it, words, letters, out of mouth.
Look how quick that is. It's amazing. Hello, my name's Derek Clark. I haven't pitched for a while. I'm also in charge of judging who gets in. So this is my project. So SCNM is another client project. We're bringing it into studio this term. It's educational based. It is a client called, I'm going to have to read it, Southwest College of Naturopathic Medicine and Health Services. And what they want to do is they want to use gamification to teach their nutritionists how to diagnose a problem. So they'll interview the person, but we're also going to use 2D imagery to show, hey, look, this person has bloodshot eyes or bags or dry skin or different symptoms that might show up. And so the interaction is all based around this idea of trying to figure out what is wrong with the person. So it'll be set in an office clinic type setting. This will be a customizable place. We do want to gamify this so you can change your awards and change your desk and upgrade and get better at things like that. It really breaks down to the core. It's a nutritionist-based game. You'll be questioning your patient. You're running like your own little clinic. You'll question your patient, try to figure out the diagnosis. The simulation will gamify a lot of those interactions, put in kind of different things along the achievement systems and things like that. But it will also include all the editors to build this. Our goal in this is to provide our client everything they need to write their own stuff. So if you look at what the faculty will use that are working there, they will actually need to be able to create their own scenarios. So we're going to write all the tools and all the back end to be able to say, okay, I'm going to make a new symptom, I'm going to make a new patient, I'm going to make a new scenario, so that as they're teaching their students, they can say, ooh, I want to try this, or I want to try that. There will be a achievement-based system for the gamification parts, and it will integrate into a learning management system called Canvas. So if you are here, you are familiar with Canvas. It's what we run. It's also what SCNM runs. And so this simulation actually accesses Canvas and can update grades and do things like that. It's a whole different side of things that we're not usually doing in gaming. The student experience does have their own editable and upgradable clinic. There's a doctor-patient relationship. You will be building diagnoses, and you will be trying to figure out, here's what's wrong. Now, what's interesting is since the faculty are writing the scenarios, they can try to trick you, put like symptoms in that you might misdiagnose and different things like that. And then that's kind of what happens there. But the overall experience, it is a gamification. It's not a full game, but we're using a lot of game stuff. The nutritionists will access all the things they would do on the job. So it's almost telemedicine being simulated. So patient sheets, doctor's logs. We're even going to pop up links to actual tools that they would use on the job within the environment and get that all talking to each other. And then we'll have the normal things, saving and coming back and different things like that. The art style is really a lot of imagery work, potentially some video work. We're going to layer things on top of the patient. One of the challenges of this will be this idea that if you try to create 8 different avatars with 50 different symptoms and make a separate image for every single one of those combinations, you would have millions of combinations. So that's impossible. So one of the challenges on this project is going to be to figure out how to take, okay, here's a base model. I turn a symptom on, how do I change that model so that it changes dynamically? All the way to the point that we can actually allow them to say, if you shoot these photos and put them into the simulation, we will now add those, layers and stuff on top of those. A lot of patient-doctor relationships, and then we'll always see the patient. So what does this project need? This one's interesting for the game studio in that we do need a lead. This team is been working off and on to build a prototype. We have a working editor. We have the Canvas integration actually working right now. So we're going to be bringing a lot of these pieces together. But we do need a new lead. So if you're looking to lead a project or get some experience there, we'll take that. A couple of designers, a couple of Unity programmers, you see that all the time. Here's where it starts to change a little bit. A lot of the effects we want to do potentially are DV style related effects. So we would take a digital video student. We are dealing a lot with authentication and security because the Canvas learning system has grades in it, which means the government looks at it to make sure you're FERPA compliant and things like that. So I'm recruiting network security students onto my game team, which I don't think I've ever done before. And we're also looking to potentially run this all through web development. We've got it currently running on Amazon Web Services. So if you're interested in messing around with Amazon Web Services and you're a web developer, that could also be a possibility. And this is also another project with internships available. So the last 3 projects that you've seen, when we say there's internships available, you can take studio and work on these projects, and that is complete. Or you could do an internship and also work on the project. So we're going to incorporate both. And if you talk really, really nicely to, we might allow you to do both. But that would be 20 hours a week. So kind of keep that in mind as well. So that is SCNM. And since I'm already up here, that also concludes our publicly streaming available projects. We still have 3 projects we're going to go through for the people in the room. So this is my pitch to encourage anybody who wants to attend our Greenlight events. They are open to the public. We run them in our last week of the term 3 times a year, so spring, summer, and fall. If you follow us on our social media channels and or look at the Eventbrites for UAT, you'll tend to find the dates. If you search on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube for UAT Game Studios, you're going to find us. We are /UAT Game Studios at any of those locations. So please feel free to follow us there, and then we post the dates and we post these events that are going to take place and different things like that. So for those of you in the room, we've got 3 more that we're going to go through, but this does conclude our online streaming. So the encouragement is show up and you get to see the secret stuff. We do that out of respect. The next 3 projects do have some NDA, non-disclosure agreement things, and some stuff they don't want out in the public, and we want to respect our clients that don't or aren't ready to launch their stuff out. We've been running junior achievement this way for the last year, and so this is kind of our first public, hey, look at this cool thing that we've done, because we are soft launching now. So thank you everybody online for joining. Thank you everybody who is in here, and we will roll into the next component.